So let's take a look at a few different pricing examples. So let's start with AWS Lambda. So for AWS Lambda, you're charged based on the number of requests for your functions. Remember, those functions can trigger actions and the time that it takes for them to run. So Lambda does allow 1 million free requests and up to 3.2 million seconds of compute per month. If you do want to, pull the trigger and actually purchase some higher usage, you can sign up, for example, for the compute savings plan. So back to our pricing concepts, pay less when you reserve would apply here. So when you commit to 1 or 3 year terms, then that's an example of paying less when you reserve. So here's an example. So if you use AWS Lambda in multiple regions, this is what your bill would look like. So in this example, all the Lambda usage occurred in the North Virginia region, and we can see a summary of charges. It all fell under the free usage, so no charges there. So the bill lists separate charges for the number of requests and their duration, and then both the number of requests and total duration of the requests in this example are under the thresholds of the AWS free tier, so the account owner would not have to pay for their Lambda usage for that month. Let's take a look at another example, this time with EC2. So remember, EC2, you pay for the only the compute time that you use while your instances are running. So for some workloads, you can reduce EC2 costs by using spot instances, for example. You'll be exploring that in the pricing calculator, when you generate an estimate for EC2 in this week's lab. Suppose you're running a batch processing job that's able to withstand interruptions, then you're definitely going to go with a spot instance, considering the savings. You can find additional cost savings for Amazon EC2 by considering other options such as savings plans and reserved instances. So in this example, all usage amounts are under the thresholds of the free tier. So again, they're not going to pay for anything for this particular month. So the service charges in this example included details for the following items. It was the type of instance that was being used, the amount of EBS storage, and the length of the elastic load balancing. And because they all fell under the thresholds of free usage, then that means no charge. Lastly, let's take a look at S3 pricing, an example. So when you're pricing S3, it's going to consider the following cost components. So that'll be the storage and the management and replication of your buckets. So storage, you only pay for the storage that you use, similar to EC2. You pay only for the compute usage that you use. So it's charged the rate. You're charged the rate, to store the objects in your Amazon S3 buckets based on the size of the objects, the storage class that you select. Remember, we have archival, right, for less frequently accessed storage. We have other options as well, right? If you want more frequent access to that storage and quicker access as well. And then how long you've stored each object during the month is all going to matter for what you pay in terms of storage. But there's also management and replication. So that's the storage management features that you have enabled on your S3 buckets. That might be inventory, analytics, or even object tagging. So for S3 pricing, another component is the requests and data retrievals. Just like we have, storage classes depending on your access needs. Well, you're going to be charged based on the requests and data retrievals you make to those storage objects. So suppose you're storing photo files in Amazon S3 buckets and hosting them on a website. Every time a visitor requests the website that includes these photo files, this will count towards requests that you have to pay for. And the the storage plan that you select, the storage class, is going to matter for those request rates. And then there's lastly data transfer, so no cost to transfer data between different S3 buckets or from S3 to other services within the same AWS region. However, if you're doing it between regions, you're going to pay. There's also no cost from S3 from the internet or out to Amazon CloudFront, also from EC2 to an S3 bucket as long as they're in the same region. So you usually do have to pay, though, for the data that you transfer in and out of S3. So if it's communicating with a non-AWS service, application, API, whatever you want to call it, whatever the client is, then you're probably gonna have to pay for it. So an example of a S3 bill, again, this one's used in 2 regions. We have North Virginia and Ohio, but they all fall under the free usage, so no charge on this bill. So again, for each region, itemized charges are based on the following factors. So it's number of requests, it's the service time, right? How much time things spent under storage. Also just extra features as well, and amount of storage space used. So all the usage for S3 in this